Newport News in Review with Aaron Pritchett starts right now.
Hello, I'm Aaron Pritchett, and welcome to this edition of Newport News in Review for the month of January 2012. Well, it's out with the old and in with the new as a brand new year begins. And whether or not you're into making those New Year's resolutions, it sure is the perfect time to start off with a clean slate. Set your sights high, be the best that you can be in everything that you do, and of course, try new things. And if one of those new things just happens to be expressing your creative side a little bit more than you have in the past, well, we definitely have the place for you as we bring the show to you from the one and only Peninsula Fine Arts Center, located right here in beautiful Mariners Museum Park, and this year proudly celebrating 50 years of enriching this community through the wonderful world of art. It's a door that opens up to a world of endless possibilities, where a simple thought and a drive on the inside is all you need to make it happen, knowing full well that you are in control of all that you can hope, imagine, and dream. Then, of course, there are the tools, unique yet familiar, delicate but extremely powerful, colorful, and simply amazing to use. And before long, you realize you are on your way to expressing yourself in your own special way, growing, building, and learning in a place that has served as a cultural and artistic epicenter to this community and the Peninsula region for decades. As the Peninsula Fine Arts Center, located in the beautiful confines of Mariners Museum Park, has created an atmosphere and a reputation that is revered by many here locally and all across the country. But despite its incredible success and continued efforts to offer unique classes, events, activities, and awe-inspiring art exhibits, this remarkable place hasn't forgotten where it all began so many years ago. The year 1962, and art would soon be everywhere, as a campaign began thanks to a small group of community art supporters, and in particular, Agnes McMurrin Johnson, who convinced community leaders in Hampton, Newport News, and York County that there was a need for an organization to promote the arts, one that would offer inspirational and educational programs. And thus, the Peninsula Arts Association was born, and in doing so, set up shop by sharing space with Christopher Newport College in the former John W. Daniel building in downtown Newport News, offering a quaint one-room area on the first floor to display art, and proudly bring their first official exhibit to town in the form of the Virginia Museum Artmobile in 1962. But their time was short-lived, as they made the move to the new campus of Christopher Newport College on Shoe Lane in 1964, slowly expanding their efforts to expose the surrounding community to fine art. But once again, they found themselves on the move two more times, in the 1970s, from temporary locations in Hilton Village and the Newmarket South Shopping Center. But in 1975, the constant moving around from place to place came to an end, as the Peninsula Arts Association received a significant gift that would give them a permanent place to finally call home, as Newport News Shipbuilding donated its former hydraulics testing laboratory on 2 acres of land in Mariners Museum Park. And after intense renovations financed by community supporters, the Peninsula Arts Association opened their doors in November of 1978. But despite all the excitement, they wouldn't get too comfortable in their new home for long, thanks once again to a swell of community support and new opportunities that would provide a strong foundation on which to build upon, starting with a name change, as the Peninsula Arts Association became the Peninsula Fine Arts Center in 1983. They were also named an affiliate of the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts in Richmond, which enabled them to bring in more popular art pieces and collections for the public to enjoy. And finally, a $1.5 million expansion project designed by award-winning Williamsburg architect Carlton Abbott that helped to triple the exhibition space and provide a new entry area, classrooms, workshop, art handling areas, enhanced security, and state-of-the-art temperature, humidity, and ventilation systems. And after an official grand opening on April 30th, 1989, the Peninsula Fine Arts Center has continued to grow and flourish like never before, becoming one of the most influential contemporary art organizations in Virginia and earning itself an accreditation by the American Association of Museums which helped to boost their reputation even more by borrowing pieces from larger collecting museums from across the country. But at the core of all these exciting changes and accolades throughout the years has been the Peninsula Fine Arts Center's commitment to providing this community and this region an art experience like no other. From eye-opening and thought-provoking changing exhibits, exciting learning opportunities, thanks to one of the many classes offered in their year-round studio art school, to the famous hands-on gallery for kids, and the continuing evolution of an extremely popular evening mixer known as Art After 5. So no matter where the paint may splatter, what tools you may choose to use, you soon find yourself somewhere between curious and a complete art connoisseur. There's one thing that is for sure: the door is always open for you to express yourself and let your creativity shine. Because in the end, art is what you make it, especially at the Peninsula Fine Arts Center, right here in Newport News. We are proud to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Peninsula Fine Arts Center, and we encourage you to tap into your creative side and take full advantage of the wealth of opportunities that are available to you throughout the year at this very creative and engaging art center. Well, January has been another busy month, so let's take a look at what's been going on right here in the city of Newport News. It's going to be a rough road ahead, something you definitely don't want to hear. But no need to worry, as these hard-working crews go beyond the surface and dig right into a process that requires plenty of patience and persistence to smooth things over along the streets of Newport News. And with a push of a button, the future is now, as one powerful machine and an eye-opening demonstration comes to town to help grind things up like never before and serve as one of the many possible options that one city department is considering to remain on the right track for a much more sustainable future. Wait, watch, and wonder. 3 things we all do when it comes to wrapping our hands and our minds around the future. But of course, with no action, there is no result, and you're left right back where you started, waiting, watching, and wondering. But when it comes to helping improve the health and vitality of our planet for the greater good, the time is now, as the Department of Public Works Solid Waste Division has been busy taking the necessary steps to look at a long list of options when it comes to reducing and eventually eliminating a wide variety of waste streams into our landfills. And they most recently got an eye-opening demonstration of the possibilities of composting food waste instead of throwing it away at the Public Works Operations Center in the Oyster Point section of Newport News.
Good morning. We'd like to thank everyone for attending the demonstration here this morning. This happens to be a project that's close to everybody that deals with solid waste. The things we can keep out of the landfills, the better off we are.
Well, one of the strategic initiatives with the city is sustainability, looking into the possibilities of researching alternative methods for handling food waste. Falls right in line with one of the strategic aid, and that's very important to us. Not only is it a financial diversion for costs associated with disposal, but it's also sustainable. It's also environmentally friendly. And today's event is the very first steps in researching what possibly may be an alternative for us.
SOMAT stands for solid materials. But we're doing a demonstration. The city of Newport News asked us to come down, and what they want us to do is demonstrate our equipment. And the purpose is waste reduction. They're trying to go to a zero into the landfill. They don't want to put anything in the landfills. So we came down and demonstrate that our piece of equipment will actually reduce, 8-to-1 is the ratio to reduce it to, and we brought a dehydrator along to actually dehydrate it. What we have over here is a scrapping table. And the scrapping table, or sorting table, is where you throw all the food waste. Now this is a mini version that's made specifically for this trailer. Traditionally they'd be about 3 times that long. And you'd have people there, you dump your food waste on the scrapping table. You'd sort through it because you don't want any metals, any glass, any woods, or any hard plastics in there. You sort through it, and it's a step just before you actually push it into the pulper. The pulper is a machine that macerates it, grinds it all up, puts it through a sizing ring, turns it into a slurry, and brings it over here to the extractor. Once again, the extractor presses the water out, and when it's finished, the end product looks like coleslaw.
Once it's reduced, we will they put it into a cooking unit that dehydrates even more moisture. And by being in vessel, we're eliminating some of the factors that would cause problems. Again, odor, rodents, or what we call vectors.
That's good.
And then on the back side, we're turning into a soil amendment, which is a component that we can put back into our soils in a natural setting instead of introducing more chemicals, so that when we have rainfall, the rain doesn't pick up the chemicals that they would normally by using sprays and things like that. Where if you use your natural organic elements, you have less potential to pollute anything. So by doing it this way, it's a smarter way to do business, and hopefully we can continue and find better ways and find some energy sources and byproducts that we really want to use here, and not just within our cities, but commercially as well, so that when the city builds projects, we use some of our own materials and try to stay as sustainable and natural as possible.
This is a great opportunity on a local basis to network with a variety of other people that have interest in organic recycling. And it's great that the city does this, because it mixes private industry and governmental to kind of come up with a consensus of what's the practical thing to do.
You can actually see some of the product we put in here. Some of the onions, some of the peppers.
This is just as the start of the exploration. I like to think of it as the spaceship has just been launched. At this point, we don't know exactly where we'll end up, but when we return to Earth, hopefully we'll have some good data to bring back and share that we can do good things with. We're hoping to bring out our own tang from this exploration, if nothing else. And I think by taking these steps and having our business community and our citizens involved, then we'll have their input and hopefully their support as we venture into new ventures out there, and not knowing which direction we're going, but by sitting back and waiting for someone else, nothing gets done. And I think by us hoping to lead, we can take Hampton Roads into the next era.
They're an essential part of our lives, taking us this way, that way, and everywhere else in between. And although we take them for granted most of the time, the miles and miles of roads that help to connect this city are a big responsibility for the Newport News Department of Public Works Street Division, who keep a close eye on the condition of these well-traveled surfaces to ensure that they're safe and can withstand the constant wear and tear that they endure day and night throughout the year.
Resurfacing, we actually started a program in '84, a comprehensive program to bring all the city streets up to current standards. They were basically built substandard back then.
Alligatoring, 15, medium.
And of course, we know how the city's grown since that time. So that now when we look at reconstruction, we look at the PCI of the street, which is the pavement condition index, to determine which ones need to be reconstructed, and then we also field inspect them.
Utility patch, 30, low. We go out and inspect every road in the city of Newport News every 4 years. We basically look at 19 different distresses that occur in the streets, in the roadway, and then the degree of the distress, that could be low, medium, or high, and the quantity of that distress. This all comes together and gives us the pavement condition index. We do ride the road. If the ride quality is also poor, this is one of the considerations, along with the citizens that may comment about their street. All of this is considered, it's recorded, and eventually, after we've considered all of this, during a pretty long period of time, it's finally finalized in that we go in and reconstruct it from the beginning. That's taking up the old road, the old base, if there is any, and starting practically new, rebuilding the street.
Dogwood Drive is located in the Country Club section of the city off of Country Club Road. It came up in the PCI report with a PCI of 25. We came out and inspected it and saw, it was in bad condition. It had numerous cuts in it, and it had been overlaid from curb to curb. So the decision was made and we would reconstruct it this year. We coordinated our work with Waterworks. They came in and replaced the water lines in it. The other utilities were okay. Normally we come in as the curb is exposed, and we move in and just pull out sections of the curb in replacement. But because of the curb being paved and there was no drainage in here, we had to do wholesale curb replacement here. Well, hopefully the goal is that each street, after it's resurfaced, should have a 20 to 25 year life cycle. And that's our goal, was to bring the streets up to standard so that in future years it would be a simple mill overlay program instead of a complete reconstruction program.
All right. This is where it begins. We start pulverizing. We got a machine that actually chops the asphalt up. It's a big machine. It has, I'm guessing, a few hundred teeth on it. It's actually teeth that will actually dig into the asphalt and tear it up, and to make it actually into a powder with rocks. And we actually reuse that material after we pulverize it. So when we're the digging process, we actually reuse that. What we usually do is we'll start off, we'll maybe do 400 feet in the beginning, and then I'll pulverize another 400. So that way, when the excavator comes in and we get ready to dig, I'll be out of their way and I can continue pulverizing and they can start digging. The excavator will come out here, and the motor grader will actually come out too, and they will actually cut in each side of the road, next to the curb and the center of the road. While they're digging it out, we also have our men bringing back big rock and bringing back crush and run. So as we're digging it out, we're putting it back in. The reason we do that is for better foundation, and we save a lot of money also by reusing the asphalt that we chopped up.
The foundation is very important on a road rebuilding process, but equally important is the curb and gutter process. The road is built upon the curb and gutter. Whatever the curb and gutter grades are, that's where the road is built. We have a crown to the road, so all of those are dictated by the elevation of the curb. So if they're not properly installed, then the road is not going to be properly built and you're not going to have proper drainage. So we went in and dug out all the curb and gutter and undercut the dirt under the curb and gutter and backfilled it with fresh crush and run, tamped it, and got it prepared for the contractor to come in and lay the new curb and gutter down.
The contractor is using the curb machine to put in the curb and gutter on both sides of the road. And we're going to do the aprons when the contractor get through. I think it's around 26 aprons. So we'll save a lot of money that way by having the city to do part of this job, since we don't have a curb machine. We're up to the challenge, we're up to the task, whatever the challenge may be. We know when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And dealing with concrete, every minute you lose, you can't gain it back.
We are putting on what we call base asphalt. The road's been fine graded with stone, and what's going to happen, it'll set up for about 5 days, and then we'll come in and make sure that it's nice and solid and ready for what we call the surface. The biggest difference is this is for strength. This particular layer is just for strength, and the second layer is for smoothness. That's really the big difference. To tell you the truth, I think what happens between the residents, contractor, and especially the city as far as engineering, this is almost utopia, because this really brings it all to a close. And this is what the citizens really look for. I don't care how much you put under the ground, it's what goes on top that makes the difference, you know. Whenever you bring a job to a close like this, it's the same happiness that we finished another one.
It all begins with a commitment and a vision to see it through. Now, of course, there may be a few challenges, setbacks, and a few growing pains along the way, just to name a few. But a good dose of perseverance will definitely see you through. And before you know it, you realize you're having quite an impact on those around you. And for the last 50 years, the Peninsula Fine Arts Center in beautiful Mariners Museum Park has done just that, by relying on the past, the present, and the future to creatively inspire us all to truly love the wonderful world of art.
I'd always been interested in art, so I ended up teaching privately in my yard. We had a clothesline exhibit. We had a little bit of everything there.
Well, it was a wonderful experience, and it was the beginning of a great art program in Newport News. And I got involved, and I was very happy with all the aspects of it, both the professionals that were here and all the volunteers. The volunteers are just critically important here, of course, but they're also the most committed people that I ever experienced working for. And we didn't have a lot of resources, particularly back then, but somehow or another we found some resources and got the nucleus of what we have today going.
Well, my first contact with the PFAC was on the old building over on Warwick as an artist. And then later I was involved as an architect here on this new project, which now celebrates, you know, it's built in 1983, and it's been very successful this whole time, probably more successful than any other art center I know in Virginia.
The center has come a long way in this 50 years. I mean, from clothesline art displays at Agnes's house to world-class art like we have here today with the Art and Animal exhibition. But it's really been a continuous life cycle. We're always moving back into the local community to tap into the talent that's here, not only for our studio art school and for the art that's on display, but also in our gallery shop, as well as volunteers, board members. We're very fortunate to have a vast array of really talented, committed people who make Peninsula Fine Arts Center what it is today, taken us through some rough times, and also are going to set the course for our next 50 years.
It's a great time for us as a community to look at PFAC and value PFAC in our daily lives and look at the role that PFAC has served over the past 50 years and think about what the community would be like without PFAC in it if it didn't exist. Where would you come and bring your children right around the corner within our community to see a changing exhibition of incredibly beautiful art every 2 or 3 months? Where would our regional artists have the opportunity to display and show their works? Where would regional artists have the opportunity to sell their works? And where would people have the opportunity to come together in this kind of a stimulating environment and learn from each other in so many ways? It serves so many purposes, and it's right here for us. And so, 50 years of that opportunity in a beautiful environment like this is just priceless in our community.
It's very meaningful to me. I grew up in Newport News. I remember this building when it was an abandoned testing lab when I was a kid, and to see it turn into something that serves the community like this is very meaningful.
I think it's very important to have this available to the community, for not only for the children to be able to come in and study and take classes. The pottery classes are wonderful, but allowing people to have freedom of creative expression and direction in the different media in expressing themselves this way.
I'm part of a legion of people who believe that art is one of the most important things you can have in your daily life. And the way I practice that is to be here at the Peninsula Fine Arts Center as the curator and program director. If you are such an enthusiastic person about art, what you want to have happen is have everyone in your community, everyone within any driving distance, everyone with any access to you, to get to your place and see what you have to offer. And so for our Newport News community and the broader Peninsula community and the broader Hampton Roads community, to be doing this for 50 years is an extraordinary thing. And we do it lots of different ways. We do it by connecting people with artists that they may know who live down the block. And then we take it sort of further out. Then we go find artists who may be in the big cities or in Washington, D.C., or in other states, who have other things to offer, who have other things to show us. And so the Peninsula Fine Arts Center has embraced those artists as well. And then we move out to a whole international kind of spectrum of exhibitions of artists and try and bring a little bit of everything to this community. But one of the things we really try and do is to hook you into something familiar, and then through the shows try and give you just a little bit more, and then a little bit more. We try and entertain you a little bit. We try and educate you a little bit. And for a place in Newport News, in Hampton Roads, to do that for 50 years and to do it successfully with style and character is really a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I'm really honored to be part of Peninsula Fine Arts Center's 50th anniversary celebration.
So another new year is here, and by now those famous New Year's resolutions are either flying high or have long flown out the window. Now, of course, sticking with those resolutions is entirely up to you on whether or not you just want to simply sit back and watch the year go by, or get up and get moving, because thanks to the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, there's plenty of heart-pumping activities that will indeed get your body in gear and have you well on your way to a much more fit and healthier lifestyle.
A lot of people don't realize the wide variety of classes that we do offer through the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. And we've actually recently started partnering with local businesses like Tidewater Performance to offer those unique classes that we're not able to offer in-house at our facilities. Usually these classes require some kind of specialized training or equipment, so we're looking to the experts to do that.
All right, guys, here we go. Face that way, we're going jumping jacks. Jumping jacks on the move, down and back. Keep it up, keep it up.
Here we go, we got a 3/4 speed down and back. Ready, go.
Squat down, touch that shoe, and stand up tall.
3, 2, 1.
This is one of the big fitness trends that are going on right now. You have your functional fitness is what they call it. So, you know, a lot of like Biggest Loser shows that you'll see now offer this type of thing. They show this a lot. And it's functional fitness because you can use it in everyday life. You know, picking up your kid and rotating, that type of thing. Going out for a run and running away from a dog even, you know, something like that. Something you can actually use in everyday life.
So you get to this line right here. Beautiful, right back. Excellent job.
And 1 foot in front, 1 foot back, foot switches. Quick foot switches, move those feet front to back. We want each class to be a little bit different. There's a basic structure that stays the same. We always go through a very thorough warm-up, but each class we try to make into a total body workout. So our clients typically come 3 to 4 times a week. That's all they need to come. It's a 50-minute class, and during that total body workout, we'll hit a conditioning interval type program that hits legs, core, arms, everything. So it's total body every time. You guys look good. Don't quit on me now. Come on, we're almost there.
We have a lot of kids, whether you're an athlete or you're just, a student who's not playing any sports, this is the place for you. A lot of fitness goals, that are met, for younger kids, they like to play. So we do a lot of training through play. As they get older, and a lot of them, that are playing, that are athletes, really working on trying to get them stronger, get them faster for their sport. And while we're getting them faster, we don't want them to be robots out on the field or on the diamond. We really want them to be strong in every aspect of the game.
Better?
We do strength and conditioning, trying to get better at it, run faster, get stronger.
Parks and Rec's they do such a great job with different programs. This just kind of enhances the opportunities that they have with that program, and so it works nicely together to be able to give them good skills to be able to use in the Parks and Rec's programs.
Switch!
I think it's a good thing. I mean, more and more the city can do to keep people active and help people live a longer, healthier lifestyle. I think it's great.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. Come on.
Pure sweat. I mean, of course, you get your water breaks every now and then, but of course, it's a lot of work, a lot of hard work, but you feel good right after though.
Switch directions.
This is a great opportunity. We are in the community of Newport News, and we would like for everybody in the city of Newport News and the surrounding areas to be physically fit and to be healthy and to perform at their best. We are thrilled to be able to partner with them. It's a great way to get our name out, as well as to be able to help the city of Newport News offer some services that they might not be able to offer otherwise.
Nice, Sabrina, good. Keep it up, keep it up.
Through the Instructional Programs Division of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, we do offer all kinds of classes. This place and our classes contribute to the Instructional Programs mission, which is to provide and offer quality, affordable programs for all of Newport News citizens. That way, no matter what your income level is, you can take one of our classes.
We're all about New Year's resolutions. Anytime you come in here, you've got to start somewhere. Our main goal is we want people to be healthy, and whatever you need to do that, we're okay with.
And relax.
Well, that's about all the time we have for you this month. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Newport News in Review, as we've helped to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the one and only Peninsula Fine Arts Center in beautiful Mariners Museum Park. And as always, on behalf of everyone here at Newport News TV, whether you're watching us on TV or online, at nngov.com, Facebook, or YouTube, thanks for watching. And we'll see you here real soon for the February edition of Newport News in Review, right here on Newport News Television.
more information on Newport News and Review, contact Aaron Pritchett at apritchett@nngov.com.